Hey friends, welcome to another edition of Team Jesus Outdoors. So hey friends, I hope you guys have had a wonderful Christmas. It's been a great Christmas here. My incredible wife was sweet enough to help me complete my Bass Mafia collection. Any of you guys that have been fishing for any length of time have noticed the evolution in tackle storage. I myself have been fishing since the 90s. Actually, I've been tournament fishing since the 90s. I've been fishing most of my life. So the evolution of tackle storage that I have witnessed has been pretty incredible. Back in 95, when I first started tournament bass fishing, this is the Plano Guide Series tackle box that I used way back then. Now I've since converted it to a walleye tackle storage system, which honestly I don't even use that much anymore. But that is the tackle system I used in the mid-90s. Later in the 90s, I switched over to this. I don't remember if this is Plano or Tackle Logic, but soft-sided bag with some pretty specific tackle organization trays. So that was my system in the late 90s and into the early 2000s. By the early 2000s, I had traded my aluminum boat for a bass boat. So from the early 2000s until 2015, I did most of my tournament fishing out of a bass boat. Like many of you that fish out of bass boats, you know darn well, your bass boat is a tool to do many things. Your bass boat is your fishing platform. It's your transportation from spot A to spot B to spot C and back to the weigh-in. But your bass boat is also a gigantic tackle box. So like many of you guys, I had a giant cavernous storage area in between my rod boxes that would accept dozens of Plano 36 and 3700 series tackle boxes. So for most of the years that I run a bass boat, my tackle storage system was a series of dozens of Plano tackle boxes. These are most of what's left of the Plano tackle boxes I ran the years that I ran a bass boat. So I've got a bunch of 3600 series boxes. I've got a bunch of 3700 series boxes. And then the last few years, I switched to the 3700 size deep boxes. Like this here swim bait box. This deep 3700 Plano box, this served as my Finesse Worm Box. So as you can see, I was able to get my soft plastics in there. I had the small size Plano box with some jigs in there. My Mojo rigging system was here, and I used boxes like this for my jigs. I had a swim bait box like this, but it gives you enough room to get your soft plastic baits in there with some smaller boxes for rigging systems, and this was pretty effective. In fact, I still use some of these today. I don't want this to sound like an endorsement for Bass Mafia, because I'm still a little bit disturbed at the price of the Bass Mafia product. But at the end of the day, this is such an impressive tackle organization system that I'm willing to shell out the extra cash. I fish out of an aluminum boat that has pretty limited storage, so I have to be ultra organized with my tackle. And I believe that the Bass Mafia product is exactly what I needed to be more organized. And my organization has been evolving over the past 20 years. I think I've gotten a whole lot better at it. For 2018, with these new Bass Mafia coffins, I'm going to be a whole lot more organized. I think the deep cranking coffin is a huge success. I've got 6XDs, 5XDs, even an 8XD fits just fine. The big square bill 8.0 fits well. DD22s, big fat-free shads, medium fat-free shads, DT16s, DT10s, and some large bandits. All in all, the deep cranking box, money well spent. I'll continue to use a Plano waterproof tray for my 10XDs and my wake shad. Not at all impressed with the double barrel. The double barrel is gigantic, takes up a lot of room. And it's just, maybe if you have a bass boat and space is not a premium, I could see using the double barrel. But if your storage compartments are limited, this is a gigantic box to hold 20 to 40 jerkbaits. So I'll continue to use a traditional jerkbait tray. Much like the deep cranking box, the terminal coffin, well worth the money. Tungsten weights, great hook storage option, and then down below I've got room for my Carolina rig components, tungsten weights, lead weights, clackers and Carolina keepers, barrel weights and beads. Over here I've got some tungsten punch skirt weights. I just don't have the skirts on them. Here we've got some rattling tube insert weights. And down below these I've got other, this whole compartment is just tube inserts. Over here I've got nail weights for Ned rigging, for Nico rigging, excuse me. And then I haven't put them all in yet, but over here I've got my tungsten drop shot weights. In this particular coffin, I'm storing all of my terminal tackle that requires a multi-piece component. Here I've got some T-stops for pegging a sinker. But any sort of rigging system that requires a hook and a weight or multiple components, I've used this terminal tray. In the regular coffin, here's all my delivery systems that are single component systems. So mushroom heads for Ned rigging. These are actually these are the ones that are made for Elastec. Plain mushroom heads. Weed guard mushroom heads. Various sizes of plain lead football heads. Straight King 1/8 football heads. 1/8 ounce tube jig inserts. 1/4 ounce tube jig inserts. 3/8 ounce tube jig inserts. And 1/2 ounce tube jig inserts. Screw lock keeper football head. Strike King structure heads. Love those things. Bass Pro Shops dragon heads. Down here we got shaky heads. Shaky heads of screw lock keepers. More shaky heads of screw lock keepers. Weighted hooks that I use for flukes. Large ones and small ones. Weighted swim bait heads. And most of it labeled. Regular round ball heads. But once again, anything that requires a single component. And last but not least, a regular deep 3700 coffin. Perfect for shallow to medium cranks. So here we've got square bills. On the front row we've got square bills and lipless cranks. A few more square bills in the second row. Fat-free shads. Medium diving fat-free shads. This one happens to be suspending. A couple more fat-free shads back here. Bandit 200s. Whole row of Bandit 200s. And a few Bandit 300s. Strike King 3XD. Got some flat-sided cranks back here. Some wiggle warts. And my custom painted crawl wiggle warts, one of my personal favorites. My bluegill pattern wiggle wart. But shallow medium divers and lipless cranks. I'm also pretty happy with the blade coffin. So in the blade coffin, I've got spinner baits at one end, bladed jigs on the other end, and then regular jigs. Hey, like I said, I hope you all have had a Merry Christmas. Don't forget, Team Jesus Outdoors still has a contest running. We're not going to draw the winner until New Year's Day. So I'll put a link in this video to my unboxing jig video, where we announce the contest and tell you how to get into the contest. So you still got a week to get in the contest. You can also go to the Team Jesus Outdoors Facebook page. So the easiest thing to do is just follow the link from this video to the unboxing Fat Boy Jigs video, and follow the directions to enter the contest. But hey, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas season. Hey, I hope you and your family had an opportunity to get into a house of worship and celebrate the real reason for the Christmas season. I hope in 2018 you will make it a point to make following Jesus a priority in your life. If you're not already a believer, I hope you'll make it a point to explore your faith. Your spiritual life is just far too important to ignore it. So hey, I hope you've had a great Christmas season. Now's the time to get those winter chores done, get your tackle ready, and hey, we'll see you on the water in a few months. Hey, please click the like button. Click the link to subscribe to see more videos like this. I believe that 2018 is going to be a big season for Team Jesus Outdoors. We've got some big plans for this year. So I hope you'll click the subscribe button and follow Team Jesus Outdoors in 2018. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.